Mike Lally, welcome to this edition of Market Brief. The people watching the webcast now will be business people who are interested in exporting. Probably they haven't done it before. Maybe they're a little bit afraid that they're going to gamble the farm and lose their shirts in the process. Is exporting a terribly risky endeavor these days?
I think for American companies looking to go international, it's not a question of if, but when, and how to go exporting and how to be able to make international sales. Right now we see with globalization and the use of the internet that we see that our goods and services have demand across the world. And I think the important thing is that there's resources out through the U.S. Commercial Service, through our global network, to make that job a lot easier for you as an exporting company.
Isn't it true with all of the business-to-business and business-to-consumer e-marketplaces these days that anybody can be engaged in international business? Some of the viewers might already be, but don't know it.
You'll find that with the internet, it's getting much more easier to get your product out into the global marketplace. By having a web presence, you have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week window into new markets where companies are going to be contacting you directly to find out how can I ship. I'd like to be looking at different options for buying your product from the United States. And the point is that through the U.S. Commercial Service, there's the opportunity to find out, are these good buyers? Are these people that I can work with? Do they have the kind of sales presence in the overseas markets that I'm looking for? And again, those resources can be there by the U.S. Commercial Service to help find those buyers.
Before taking the plunge into exporting, what should a business be aware of? What kinds of things should they ask themselves before taking that plunge?
It's a very good question. Small companies and large companies really always have to do an internal assessment. Am I structured? Am I ready to go international? Look at your product and service lines. Are they successful domestically? Are they ready to go international? How am I structured internally? How are my banking relationships? Is my bank positioned to handle letters of credit and to take me internationally? What about my own internal personnel and human resources position? Do I have the right mix of people who have the skills, who have the long-term vision to take my company international? And finally, what's my management commitment? Is my top management, is my boss ready to take the time, take the effort, and invest the resources to help our companies to help the company go international? Importantly, I think there is that working with the U.S. Commercial Service, you have the opportunity to do that internal assessment and then make the decision of what markets are right for you.
You've outlined a very comprehensive approach about going global. Are there some preliminary steps that a business can take without going whole hog?
Absolutely. I think you have to basically, in terms of understanding your own company, how do we want to look at exporting? Is there going to be an exporting marketing program and a strategy? Or do you really want to say, hey, look, I'd like to explore this market in Asia or in South America? We offer solutions for companies through the U.S. Commercial Service that can identify a distributor, identify a potential agent or a partner overseas that can basically be that first initial plunge into the market and to understand if it's right for you.
In addition to the U.S. Commercial Service, are there other resources out there for a small business that will help exporting be easier for them?
Well, global supply chain management has become a really important and hot topic because we're finding that in a very fast cycle of goods throughout the world, it's very important how you move your goods. Through the U.S. Commercial Service, we maintain relationships with freight forwarders and shippers and others to basically understand how best to ship your good and how that can be done in a cost-effective manner. We maintain a corporate marketing agreement with FedEx that basically provides that kind of service, advice, and counsel for companies looking at good shipping and logistics options. The same is true in banking relationships. If you're looking at legal advice, our offices throughout the country, especially in the service areas that we provide, maintain these relationships with these very important pillars of doing international business, whether it's legal, banking, shipping and logistics, and transportation solutions.
Can you give us an example of a small company that may have been a little bit tentative in their desire to export, but who you helped go through the various steps from the very beginning to a successful transaction?
Recently, we've engaged with a company in the Philadelphia area that was looking to take its what was called a cosmeceutical international. It does a special cream, and it had received a hit on its website from a potential buyer in South Korea. This small company had never had international experience before, and they called us up. We had received a referral through one of our partner organizations, and we went out and visited with them. And they had explained that they had some initial concerns as to whether or not this Korean buyer was reputable. Did they have the money that they say they did, and did they have the points of sale that they said they did? We agreed to contact and engage our office in the American Embassy's commercial service in Seoul, in South Korea. What they did was our Korean colleague there invited their Korean counterpart in to understand more about the company. And it turned out that this company, which was based in Seoul, had multiple sales points throughout South Korea, was a multi-million-dollar firm, and actually did have the resources and the ability to do business that it said it did. We were able to go back to that firm, meet with them face-to-face, our exporter, our company in the Philadelphia area, and explain to them that actually this deal can go through. And what had happened was that then they had developed a distribution agreement with them and had moved forward, and now are making sales into South Korea, all based on an unsolicited website hit. Fortunately, in this situation where they can contact us and ask us, is this real?
Research shows that most foreign inquiries to U.S. businesses go unanswered. Why is that? Why would any company refuse to answer a potential buyer?
I think a lot of it is just simply lack of knowledge and a certain amount of fear. The fear of the unknown. Is this company in Asia, South America, Europe, are they reputable? And really not understanding what are the resources out there where I can check that firm and understand, should I even be looking at it? There's some legitimate reasons as well. Maybe this company from overseas is price hunting and price shopping to see if its good and service is competitive. But I think the important thing to take away from that is that through the U.S. Commercial Service, we have the opportunity to contact our offices, understand who that buyer is in that given market, develop the bona fides, and then come back to you so you can make the business decision about whether or not to quote the article or quote the bid and then carry through with the actual transaction.
You've talked about some of the challenges for small businesses going international for the first time. What are the benefits?
I think if you look at the business situation, even in the last 10 or 20 years, it's becoming more of an imperative to look internationally. Our competitors are looking internationally and have been for many years, whether from Europe, from Asia, from South America, while the United States remains a very large and rich market with 290 million consumers. You'll see that more and more companies are going to be looking to diversify. And what I would say to small companies looking to go international, do you feel comfortable right now with your customer mix, or would you rather have some more diversification? The answer is probably yes. And the opportunities really are great, whereas you might find a situation where your growth might be plateauing in a North American market. Have you considered what in Asia or in South America, where that product might never be introduced, and you might not have a competitive situation because it would be brand new? So by thinking broadly, you're answering the question, yes, I must be international, not whether I should be international.
Mike, I want to thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you, Doug.